Hi, everyone. We are live, being like 12 p.m. o'clock. We're ready to kick off our webinar in a couple of minutes. We're going to give it some time for people to join us live. Still, this session is going to be recorded, and we're going to be sharing the session with everyone who subscribed for the ebook. We have I think, like more than 500 downloads on the ebook. So yeah, really excited to keep this conversation going. We had our first like conversational session last month with a bunch of the other authors of the ebook, and today we have Catherine and Katie. So excited to keep talking about AI and CX and the strategies they've used to implement and being like an early adopters here with us at Gorgias. So for everyone joining, like sharing the chat, where are you based? If you are working for a brand, if you are using Gorgias, if you are using AI, we want to get to know you a bit more. So it would be great if you can share in the chat while we give it like 2 or 3 more minutes for people to join, and then we'll start with the panel discussion. We really want this to be like as conversational as possible. So please use the chat and use the Q&A. Hey, Diana. So that we keep it like interactive and dynamic. That's the whole point. Yay. Hi from San Francisco. Cassandra, are you using Gorgias? Like, do you work for a brand, or are you on the tech partner side? Would love to know you a bit more. Okay, people are joining. That is exciting. Um, cool. We'll give it 2 more minutes and then we'll start. I'll start introducing myself. I am Milagros, Mili, aka Mili. I am based in Argentina for now, for the next couple of weeks, because I'm relocating to Lisbon really soon. Gorgeous has an office in Lisbon, actually. So exciting, big change for me coming up like in the next few days. I am the ambassador manager. I get like the opportunity to collaborate too with a bunch of gorgeous brands, CX, thought leaders, ecom leaders, and yeah, putting our brands and our customers in that at the center of our marketing efforts. So I'm really privileged to get to learn from CX leaders and e-commerce leaders. I'm the head of customer service for a pet company. Okay, cool. Mark Lewis from San Jose, brand using Gorgeous. Okay, amazing. Okay, let's kick off like the intros. Catherine, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I would love to. Hi, everybody. I am Catherine Goodman. I am Director of Customer Experience Retention Marketing here at Cornbread Hemp. We are based in Louisville, Kentucky, but I'm in the Carolinas. And we've been on Gorgias since before my time at the company, and we continue to grow with Gorgias.
Amazing. And what's like out of your brand, like what's your favorite product? What's like the best selling
Oh,
product?
well, best selling different than my favorite. Our gummies are really great and they're our best sellers, but we just launched THC seltzers and they are so good. Nice, just little kick and the perfect like sweetness and low cal as well.
That's so cool. Okay, cool. Thanks for the intro. Now, Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm Director of Customer Experience at Suit Shop. I will tell you our best seller is our brilliant blue suit. Like since we launched year after year, it is number one. But I used navy for my wedding.
Like not long ago I had the chance to meet Katie in person, and she absolutely rocked every outfit every day. She was dressed by Suit Shop, and she was like the best dressed person in the conference for sure. Okay, amazing. So let's start as we hit 12:05. We have like a good bunch of people connected. Let's do it. Okay, so we've done the round of intros. Also, I would like to know how many of the people here in the room have downloaded that ebook and have checked out that ebook. If not, we'll share the link in the chat so you can download it, because there we're going to be dissecting all of those learnings from the AI in Action ebook. Okay, let's start. Um, so, like the first question, like it's been 1 year actually since we launched AI Agent at Gorgias. It's going to be our 1 year birthday, like in a couple of weeks, and we've come a long way, right? Like I've seen myself, CX leader, gone from like hesitant and afraid to really being like an advocate for AI agent. Inside, just in 1 year, we've seen like a huge transformation in the perception of like CX and e-commerce leaders. So that's the first question. Like, when did you first hear about AI? What was your initial feeling, and how are you feeling today? And when was this like a turning point for you guys? I'll pick Catherine to go first. Catherine.
Yeah, initial feelings about AI. I think I followed a lot of the panic and kind of just fear, of the rest of the world around what's going to happen, like where is this going to go. But after learning more and kind of adapting to the Gorgias AI product itself, I've really fallen in love with it. At first, definitely was skeptical. I was like, how much can this really make a difference? However, we can share that we automate now, at least in the past 60 days. We spent a lot of time optimizing our AI agent in Gorgias, at least 50% of our tickets. So it takes on the work of at least 2 full-time agents for us, which is absolutely amazing. And now I can't imagine my life without AI, nor can my agents, who are also very skeptical, and now they really embrace it and love it.
Wow, I love it. Like it's really amazing how like perception has changed so much, especially after like people use it and like give it a try and see the results. But yeah, thank you so much. Katie, what about you?
Yeah, I think that I was most worried about like how the tone would come across, like if it would sound robotic, if it would be very obvious it was an AI, or that it would take longer to answer customer problems. Because I'm sure we've all been on those chats where we feel like we're getting nowhere. That was what was holding me back at the beginning. But knowing that we have these really busy months where it always feels like we need more help, I figured it was worth a try to see if it could help with that ticket volume at all. I think my like aha moment was when it really nailed that tone of voice, when it sounded so genuine, when it was writing things that I felt like I would say myself. That was the big like success moment for me.
Wow, amazing. Love to hear. Did you share how much are you automating right now of your support, Katie?
Yeah, ours is 30%.
Cool. And wondering, like, do you have like high peak seasons for Suit Shop? Is there like any time of the year where you really get like a peak?
Yeah, I feel like it's opposite from a lot of other retailers. So ours is wedding season, which is like May through October. So we're in it now, we're feeling it. Everyone's getting married this summer. And then we tend to slow down in the winter months when there's less weddings.
Got it. So excited to have like AI agent supporting your team during this like summer high season for you guys. What about you,
100%.
Catherine? Do you have a high season with um
Yeah, with cornbread, we follow the typical ecom high season, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then also that feeds into our first quarter. So Q4 and Q1 are our biggest players.
got it? I feel like that's when like that impact can it's really noticed and it's really evident for
Mhm.
like CX and support teams.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. Next panel question. What has surprised you most about using AI agent in your CX?
I think for me, it's
I'll
like how quickly you can train it or update something. Like if you update a guidance, or like we launch a new product, we have a new help center article about it, like something within minutes, it's answering questions about that update. And I think that's really cool because it's really learning faster than like our team can sometimes.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that, and also add in, kind of that tone that you were talking about, and like how you can really customize the AI agent. For us, if you call Cornbread Hemp's phone number, like a real person's going to answer. They're in the building, like they're going to solve your problem. So keeping our support like personable was really big for us, and that was probably something that our agents were most worried about from the customer experience side of implementing the AI agent. So being able to like actually truly control like how it's answering customers, when it's handing that off, so that way we're not running into that kind of like robotic loop. And like being able to train it up is definitely like the most surprising aspect for us.
That's really cool. Like it's really cool to see how different AI agents really have like different tone of voice and like
Sure.
kind of like a personality of their own. They embody like all the values of the brand and like the vibe of the team as well. How big are your teams?
We
Your
have a
support.
team of 7 agents, and then AI agent as well.
Cool.
Yeah. We
Do
have a
like
team
that's
of about 30. We only have like 4 of us who are full-time in CS, and then everyone else is in our stores, and then they also do online support.
That's awesome.
that's cool. I've seen more and more brands like brands that have retail stores do that as well. So like basically the shopping assistant in store is that same person answering like the support tickets. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Um, okay, next question. This is especially for you, Katie, based on your chapter of the ebook. You talked about the importance of balancing human and AI support. Can you share how you determine your handover topics and what criteria are like? How did you define that criteria?
Yeah, I think that, there's a lot of valuable information on the website, and we do our best to make the experience as self-service as possible. So all of those questions that we're trying to self-service, like how do I return? How long does it take to ship? How far in advance should I order? All of those like easy questions that we try to have kind of in your face while you're shopping are the perfect ones for AI agent. And then there's a few things that can be more confusing, like what is the difference between a back ordered item and a made to order item? Or how can we take these body measurements that someone sent us and compare them to the garment measurements that are listed on our website to figure out what size is best? So I really kind of dug into which questions seemed more complicated or could be more confusing for the customer, that might also be confusing for AI agent to distinguish and kind of figure out where to go there. And then we also hand over, anything that sounds like a complaint or a frustration, um, that we want to get to an agent immediately, even if it might take our agents a little bit more time. I mean, we're not able to answer in 30 seconds like the AI agent, but I think it does make a difference if someone is upset to have that human touch immediately.
That's really cool. Like not only segment through like that topic, but also through like the sentiment of the tickets. That's really cool. And right now, do you have AI agents answer these questions about sizing with measure like matching the site with measurements or not right now?
No, that is a handover topic. It can
Okay,
tell
perfect.
you how to take our Fit Finder quiz or how to take the measurements. And then once I have it specifically, like if someone uses inches or centimeters or those specific words in the email, then it should be handed over.
Got it. Got it. Okay, there is like one question. I think we could address it now. Grace is asking if you can share an example of your handover topics, which you just did, and an example of your tone prompts. How have you trained that tone of voice of your AI agent?
Yeah, our tone of voice specifically says like be friendly, be empathetic, be proactive and reassuring. You can use emojis sparingly if it makes sense. If you're passing over to an agent, let them know that you're going to hand over to someone who's can provide more specialized support. Um, I think that like having those words like empathetic, proactive, did make a difference. And we wrote out the tone of voice ourselves.
That's cool. And Catherine, I'm gonna pinpoint to you, like what are like the topics that you are handing over to AI agent these days?
Yeah. Topic wise, we deal with a lot of compliance in the CBD and hemp space. So we hand over any kind of frustration sensed in the tone is automatically handed over. And then anything that's like, can I take this with this medication? Anything with legalities, with current like federal bills that are in play, as well as like, how will this kind of like react with so and so? Can I take this for XYZ? Like more of those like in depth questions that customers need help with automatically get handed over.
Yeah. I think like there are many brands that are like that is like a big thing for them, like making sure that they can hand over and they are not like transferring all of the control of their support to AI agent. Like there's definitely, you can define that line. It's not like 0 or 100%. So that's really cool that you can
Mhm.
set those limits wherever like it feels comfortable for your brand.
Yep.
Really cool. Okay, Catherine, this one is for you. What role does AI play in helping customers overcome purchase hesitation, especially with wellness products like CBD or THC?
Yeah, I think that what's great is AI is like so quick to respond and answer the questions that customers are asking. And it helps kind of push the customer to go ahead and convert or answer their question quickly. So that's the biggest role that it plays. The biggest thing is like, what's the difference between this product and this product? Or is this product going to fit my needs? Which one should I try? Kind of that open-ended question as to like, which route do I go down? An AI agent is allowed to pop in and just be like, well, here's this product's like, summary. Here's this one. Maybe here's some reviews. Maybe here's what lines up exactly with what you're looking for, based on questions that you've asked before. So AI agent just kind of comes in and provides a little bit of clarity in a quick way for our customers to go ahead and not get that decision fatigue and pull through and make the purchase.
Really cool. Yeah, I wonder like, and what is like the favorite tickets for your support team? Like, what do they love like answering and they want to keep? Is there like any kind of like uh, issues that they love resolving?
Yeah, actually, just like not even an issue. We deal with a lot of issues all of the time, but I think like the biggest thing that they love is when our customers reach out and tell us like what is going right. Being in a space of consumable goods, like hearing from Sally that her CBD gummies have changed her life and she's now able to sleep every night, or she's now able to like move without any pain. We love to kind of hear that feedback from our customers. But I'd say the biggest ones where they're actively working are probably like placing orders. It's really that kind of like one-on-one support of like, thank you for calling, how like taking a phone order. It's not everybody has adjusted to the e-commerce landscape, so having somebody on the other end of the phone to take an order for a gummy that's helping you get by day to day, those kind of things, that one-on-one connection with our customer really like lights our agents up every day.
That's really cool. And that like they have like that time now to address more of those, right?
Yes.
Very cool. Okay, next one. This one is for Katie. How do you train AI to understand the emotional context of shopping for a meaningful event, like a wedding, for example? And how can it respond with empathy while still providing efficient support?
Yeah, I think like the biggest part of planning a wedding or ordering for it is that you need your items quickly or by a certain date. So it's all like very date based, a lot of the questions that come around with that. So the best thing I think is that it answers so quickly. So if someone's like in their wedding planning mode, they're getting that answer right away. Um, and I think the tone of voice has definitely helped. I mean, there people will say, you know, I'm planning my wedding for this, and it always answers like congratulations with like a party emoji, and it's exactly like how we would respond. And if it wasn't doing that, I think we'd update the tone of voice. But I think just the fact that it's so fast and like uplifting has really made a difference.
I wonder if like do you have a lot of tickets around like the timing or like the outfits being late for the wedding? Like do you get like a lot of those special requests?
We get a lot of like how it's either from the bride and groom, how soon do we need to order, like how far in advance, and then from the groomsmen, like what's the last day I can order so I can have it in time. So it was like definitely a balance of that, but it's very much based on yeah when people should order more than anything.
Cool. Um, okay. Now back to Catherine. Can you walk us through your strategy for pairing on-site chat campaigns with AI agent?
Yeah, absolutely. This is super fun. So we set up our on-site chat campaigns through Gorgias Convert to basically recognize when a customer is kind of hanging around a page and not making a decision. So after that, initial maybe like 40 seconds, or they're at a percentage like down the screen, we've got a little pop-up that just prompts them, with a little bit of an emoji, and it's like, this is like a one line of what this product is good for, and then it prompts them like, do you have any questions? So it's kind of like open ended. It delivers straightforward what the result is that you're going to get with that product. So if they're kind of down the page, it kind of like iterates that need. Pairing this with AI agent is really great for us because AI agent responds so quickly when the customer does have a question. And I think that what's the biggest importance whenever you are working through chats with a customer is just like a phone call. People don't want to wait around. They don't want to wait for an email or wait for, you to come back online. So our AI agent, her name is Allie. Allie responds really quickly, and people love it. They get their answer, and then it allows them to actually go through and convert quickly. It also like will hand off to our chat agents as well if there's like a handover topic, and then they'll be able to escalate and see, okay, here's what we've covered so far with Allie. I only need to add like maybe one more line and we're good to go. We've
That's
seen a
really
lot of
cool.
really great revenue come through.
Yeah, that's like, are you also in the beta test for shopping assistant?
Not yet. I'm talking to our reps about it though. I'm really excited to check it out. Yeah.
I think like you will like with the base and what you've built with like Convert and even like the success with
Yeah,
Gorgias Voice, I think like the next step with shopping assistant is going to be like super exciting. We've seen
absolutely.
that's super cool. One question, do you like disclose that it's an AI agent or is it
So
like a
we
specific?
don't. We will tell them if they're getting handed over, but we honestly just sign that it's Allie from Cornbread. People love Allie. We get a lot. And then also whenever we're reviewing our CSAT, it lets us really know. Like Allie was such a great help. Like thank you so much. Allie didn't respond the right way. Then we're able to go into that ticket and kind of like dig into it a little bit more. But we sign it off like a typical agent. Hasn't had any issues with us before, but we don't want that initial frustration right off the bat of like I'm trying to reach out and I'm just with an AI. We put so much time into it that it basically is like talking to an agent.
Yeah, as long as like customers, as long as they have the answers that they need, they're not asking themselves if it's like a real human or not, as
Yeah.
long as they have the answers they need to
Hmm.
resolve their doubts. That's really cool. And yes, like I think like that's definitely best practice to name your agent, to give them like a name and a personality, kind of like humanize your AI agent. Katie, does your AI agent has a name as well?
Yeah, ours is Max.
Max. I love it. And like people in the chat, like drop your AI agent's name if you have a name. Okay, cool. This one is for Katie. If you have to pick one moment in the Suit Shop customer journey where AI has had the biggest impact, what would it be?
The This is a tough one. I don't, it's hard to decide if there was just like one moment. But I think like the biggest impact, I'll say like for the team and like the support is just how much how many quick tickets that the AI agent can answer so that our team can get into those like deep conversations. Um, I looked up before this webinar, so just this month, it's answered 800 tickets for us. Um, and that's just like blows my mind for how much time we have not had to spend answering those 800 tickets. And then we get to do the stuff we think is fun, like when people ask questions on color pairings and they're in the wedding planning process and things like that, or someone is buying their first suit for graduation, and we like having those like deeper conversations. So I think it's just like how quickly it's helped answer all the little things.
That's amazing. 800 tickets is like a large volume. And like it's crazy, like in just 1 year, it's like I cannot even like think how we were doing it before AI agent.
Right.
Like, and to think like there's still like I get a chance to talk to a lot of CX leaders that are using Gorgias and not using Gorgias, and it just blows my mind how different can it be, right? Like there are like some big brands out there that you would be surprised that are still managing their help desk or their tickets through Gmail, and these are like over like $1 million GMV, like really big brands. It's like how are they still on Gmail where they could be using like an omni-channel help desk and then automating and leveraging these tools? It's just like their life would change like dramatically.
That's how we
It's
started. I'm glad we're not doing it anymore.
right, like shuffling between so many different headers and like different windows. Um, That's crazy. Okay, let's go to the next one, Catherine. This one is for you. You've seen AI double revenue from support channels. So, in your opinion, what were the biggest contributors to that growth and to that revenue?
Yeah, I think honestly it is a couple of things. The two biggest are definitely pairing the convert campaigns. So, setting up those campaigns to really target customers at that point in their journey. And then also optimizing AI agent to respond quicker and solve more problems. Like I said, AI agents taken on probably like 50% of our ticket load on some of these days. So, I think I pulled the numbers, and month to date, our total like CS revenue is about like 75,000 just from, Gorgias. And I'd say 40-ish of that is from AI. And that's just from those convert tickets coming up. It's from AI responding super quickly. It's allowing that like immediate answer, so that way customers can go through and make their purchase successfully, whether it's a discount issue, a product question, anything like that.
That's so cool. Like those are like big revenue numbers. It's like paying for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely does. You have to spend a lot of time like getting it. I think when you spend a lot of time in there, like getting it to what you want, it makes you feel confident in it to let it run, and you're not kind of like babysitting it. It really does like do the job that you expect, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't wait for you to try shopping assistant, to
Oh,
be
I know.
honest.
I cannot either. It's gonna be great.
Like maybe like I'm gonna ask the team here, Gabrielle, if you can share like that. There's a form to apply to the beta, to the early access. So
Uh-huh.
if anyone in the chat wants to join the waiting list, I don't know if you've heard about it, but we recently pre-launch a shopping assistant, which is basically teaching our AI agent a new set of skills based focused on sales, right? So it's really great because what we've seen is that like the shopping assistant is not really shy to upsell or cross sell. Like they have like it has that perfect tone of voice to transition from a support question to a product recommendation, sometimes in a way that not even like a human can do it. Like we are not all like salespeople, so it's really cool to see how like seamless the AI agent handles that transition from like a support question to a product recommendation or a cross sell opportunity. So that's really cool. Okay, and that's going to be available in GA like soon. As soon as we have a date, we'll share. But right now, it's in early access. Okay, cool. So this one is for both of you. Let's, Catherine, as we are talking, like, let's start with you. How do you approach humanizing AI so it drives like value while still making customers feel seen and heard?
Yeah, Katie mentioned this earlier, but in the settings of AI, you can choose your tone of voice, and there's a couple of options. We also set up ours in a custom way and gave it a lot of direction to be friendly and confident, to lean into kind of our core values and what we're committed to in our product and our brand, and add a couple of emojis in, but we really want to affirm our customers. We want to be welcoming. We want to be empathetic, but we also want to reassure and be proactive. So I think that, really doing the tone and the way that your agents show up and basically duplicating that into AI has helped us a lot. We also recently integrated into some quick actions. So AI agent is actually able to take action for some of our customers. For example, if they need to update their address or they want to cancel their order, change their subscription around, AI agent is actually able to execute on some of those things and provide a quicker resolution. Which makes it kind of that whole, I mean, Allie's killing it. It's very humanizing, that whole experience. Customers are having their issues solved and they're moving on, and it's quick and it's painless, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, I think really the tone of voice is like the best place to start, and use the like testing environment that's in the AI agent settings as well. So test a few of your incoming tickets and make sure it sounds like how you want it. And if something's off, update that tone of voice, like keep rechecking it. I think that's a big part of getting it set up for success too.
We also like, to that point of like testing the tone, like we will go through like anything that's rated like a 3 CSAT or below, and we'll review like the knowledge base and make sure and give it a thumbs up, or kind of reassure the AI agent to make sure that it knows like what it's doing is right or what it's not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like training a dog, I feel like, let it know it's doing good, give it a little bone, and move on. Oh, Mila, you are muted.
Sorry about that. Actually, that's something that really came up in our previous session, like how important is to keep like do the QA with your AI agent and keep training it. Um, I don't think there's like this is one like additional question, like how long did you took to onboard your AI agent, like to have all that knowledge that they needed to like feel confident to launch it? And now how often do you do these like QAs or like additional trainings or checking on the learning on the knowledge base for the AI agent? How often do you do this?
Yeah, we onboarded pretty quickly, and this actually will answer the question that just came in the chat for getting internal buy-in for AI hesitancy. So we actually onboarded AI agent as a test, because there was a lot of hesitancy in the department and just within leadership. Like, can this really do this? So I was like, I mean, the data will tell us, like, it's either going to work or it's not. So we onboarded it in just like a small way. We set up some handover topics, some small guidance, and we only let it handle a couple of things. We didn't give it kind of like a lot of stuff to do, but we immediately saw the numbers, the data trickle in, and we felt the bandwidth kind of effect within our agents. And from there, we realized like this is something we need to put time and effort in. So, one of our managers came in and spent a lot of time, like she'll say babysitting it, but, spending time in there, making sure that the AI agent does have what it needs and is being directive. Because once you give it what it needs, or you do direct it in the right way and it learns that, like, it's set, like you don't have to go back to it. So we did spend a lot of time training it. Being in kind of a very regulated field, we really had to, but we're definitely like feeling the results of it for sure.
That's really cool. So, and did you have like one person of your team assigned to train the AI agent?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was me, for a while, kind of just like playing around with it because I was the one that was pushing for it so hard. And then we had our senior CS manager. She did an amazing job going in there and really being like, yes, this is good. No, this is bad. And really optimizing kind of all of the direction, as well as the gorgeous updates that came with the AI agent. There was a lot of evolution. And now it's like in such a good place that I think setting it up off the get, like would probably make your lives very easy.
Love
Yeah, I
that.
do think
And
there's been a lot of improvements recently that make the setup even better. I took like a interesting approach where I turned it on in August, which is like very busy time for us, and let it run for 2 months, and then I turned it off when I was slow, so I had time to like go back and really QA what it had been doing. Um, and I feel like this is over the top, but I made like a spreadsheet of all the tickets that I felt like weren't done good enough, and then had like a to-do list of what I needed to do to make them better. And so I spent that off time writing so many more help center articles and adding so many more guidances. So then when I felt confident enough turning it back on, now it's like a very quick QA process.
are you still like in charge of the AI agent, or is there someone specific in your team in charge, or do you share kind of like the training?
Yeah, still me. I feel like I'm the AI agent's manager. So I'm always providing it feedback. But my team is like instructed to share anything good and bad with me. Like, did someone respond super positively to the AI agent? Like, I want to see that. We have like a customer comments channel in our Slack that will share those screenshots in. And then, same thing, if something was answered strangely, I want them to tell me so that I can immediately fix that problem in the moment.
That's really cool. And like touching base on that question in the chat, what advice would you give like for getting internal buy-in for AI? Like wondering if when you were activating AI, like did you experience any kind of hesitation internally in the company? Like where did it came from? Like did you had to convince someone?
I think all around, I had to convince like my supervisors that it was worth my time to really dive into this. And then also, my team was hesitant. Like, will it affect the level of support that we're given? Like, if you look up reviews from Suit Shop, it almost always says like the service was great. So I think that was the biggest hesitation. Like, are we going to lose any of that great service? But I felt like it was worth the time to put in to make sure we stayed at that level.
Yeah, mine was the exact same. Definitely just like hesitancy all around. But I mean, you don't know until you try, and you could try. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but when you do try and it works, then that's great. Then you don't have to do that all that work.
Right? And like more and more we see it work, you know, like we see like the advice that I hear more and more is like lean in, because the sooner the better. Like if you can be an early adopter, sure, like there's going to be maybe things that still need to be worked on, and like as you were mentioning right now, the setup is easier than what it was maybe a year ago, but still like staying ahead of the curve and being able to benefit from having like this extra support. uh, yeah, that's amazing. Okay, let's go to the next panel question. This is a good one. If you could rebuild your AI rollout knowing what you do know now, what would you do differently? Let's start with you, Catherine.
I think that like if I was starting from scratch, I would really probably go back because we didn't audit like our current touch points when we set up AI agent. We kind of let it run to get some feedback on it first, but I would really audit like what are customers reaching out the most. We do this now. Creating help center or just like internal guidelines for AI for those things if they didn't already exist. So that way that library is already built up. And then I would also launch with more convert campaigns, because that pop up is actually going to entice the customer to respond, and we'll be able to get more feedback quicker instead of waiting for the customer to come to the chatbot to ask a question.
Okay, love that. Vouch for convert. I wonder how many people here are actually using convert. What about you, Katie? Are you using
I'm
convert?
using it. Love
Love
Convert. Yeah. I think for me with the AI agent, it was like focusing more on the guidances than I did in the beginning. I had the basic ones written out for what if someone asks for a discount or for a return or where their order is. I think a turning point for me was realizing that you could make guidances for even the littlest of things. And that I feel like was a turning point for us in our AI success.
here? Sorry, I think I lost connection for a minute, but I'm definitely back. Are you seeing me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I missed your answer. I don't know, like the rest of the people got to listen
It
to
was
you.
so great. You missed such a great answer.
I know. Well, I guess I missed it. And one question, actually, personal question. Do you have like whenever you have like a change in your policies, for example, do you have to keep track of those changes in multiple places to update, or is it just in the knowledge base for your AI agent? Does it automatically update like your Q&A, your help center? How do you manage change in policies?
It's a good question. I think we update like the help center and the macros first. We also have like an internal SOP for our service agents that we update outside of Gorgias. Um, so yeah, it is in a few places. But I will say that things don't change that often.
Yeah, same. Most of the time, what's changing for us is mainly like our macros more than anything.
Cool. The macros that doesn't get old, right? Like they're still very useful, and uh, even with AI agent having like that base,
Mhm.
it's really important.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
why like it's another reason why like being an early adopters is just like you go with the new updates and the new features, and you are able to integrate like every update, every new feature like as they roll out, and it's not like overwhelming to go from 0 to 100. So yeah, I love how you guys are like incorporating it. Okay, that was my last question actually. So we still have like over 15 minutes to answer questions of the people in the audience. We have 20 people um, tune in. So I wonder like what's in your minds? Like what motivated you to join the webinar today? Are you looking for like strategies to convince your to get like inner buy-in inside your company to use AI to automate your support? Like what sparked your interest? Like why are you here, and how can we support your goals? We have like 15 more minutes with Katie and Catherine, so don't miss the opportunity to ask your questions. Let's see, don't be shy. We'll give it like a couple of minutes for questions to pop up. Let's see. I'll stop sharing so we can be here in the chat. Okay, there is one more question. It says like would love to hear your top piece of advice for CX leaders getting started with AI. So for the people in the audience that it's just getting started, just turning it on, what would be your advice for them?
Mine would be we made an AI playbook. It's like a Bible for AI. There's, I gave my insights, Katie gives hers, but there's a lot of other insights that even I learned from just reading through. So if you're trying to figure out, like, not just turning it on, but where you go from here, I definitely would download that. Also, the Gorgias team has been so, so helpful in my rep, Mila as well, just sending over, reading materials on Gorgias to get my help. But I will say the playbook is definitely the way to go for some inspo on kicking off AI.
Yes. Like the playbook is really packed of examples, templates that is very actionable. So I really, really recommend everyone here downloading it and giving it a read. What about you,
I'll add
Katie?
on, like, if you're using Gorgias, then join the Gorgias community as well, because a lot of people have asked similar questions in here, like what guidances do you have, or what are your handover topics? And you can kind of go back and see what other people have asked. And it's kind of cool to know that other people are having the same thoughts and questions as you. And the Gorgeous team is always, I think, super quick to respond in there as well, with either just a quick answer, or here we have a blog about that, or we have this article. There's so many resources that can help you out.
Yeah, definitely following up that webinar, we will share like the recording with everyone that signed up, and we'll make sure to share the links for this. Like, there was like a tone of voice article and the guidance, how to build your guidance. So we'll make sure to add all of those and the ebook, of course, in the follow up emails. And yeah, I think there are no more questions. So we're gonna stop like wrapping it up. Um, Thank you so much for joining this conversation, Katie and Catherine. Like I like today, literally, I made like a LinkedIn post like questioning if like CX leaders are still hesitant of AI. Like I see so much positive feedback and so many like good results and real impact and like like these repetitive tickets actually being like lift off their shoulders, and it's like, are we still hesitant? Like, are we actually? But who, like, please raise your hands if you are still hesitant, because it's like always, right? Like changing like a habit or like creating like a new way of doing things, it always comes with education and battling hesitations. But yeah, like the results are overwhelmingly positive. So yeah, I'm really proud of that ebook and how actionable it is, and for you guys to be spreading the word as well. Thank you so much for helping us spread the word. Any final thoughts that you want to share, Katie and Catherine,
No, yeah,
before?
feel free to add me on LinkedIn and send me messages. I'm happy to help outside of here as well.
Ditto.
Amazing. I'm gonna drop your LinkedIn's on the chat so people can go and follow you as well. And yes, thank you so much for being so generous with your time and your insights. Love like reviewing your strategies and your results. And yeah, and I'm excited to see both of you on Shopping Assistant and like the results you accomplish with that as well.
Yeah.
Love
Okay.
it. Thank you so much for having us. This was great.
Yeah. Thank
It was
you.
great conversation. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.